Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Well, it is another hot one across the triangle today. Here's a live look at those hot temperatures right now. Highs popping up in the mid-90s throughout our viewing area. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Keely Arthur. A few showers could return late this evening and into Monday as a new front approaches. And meteorologist Grant Skinner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Grant, when will we see that rain?
I think that rain chance comes very late today. We won't see a whole lot of rain before then, maybe some brief showers. The best chance overnight towards the North Carolina-Virginia border. And this is why the front is just to our north, so the showers will first pop up towards Virginia and then slowly work their way south. The majority of the rain right now is back to our west over portions of Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama through Mississippi. We won't see that high of a rain chance overnight, but just some brief showers possible as this front moves through. I want to show you a dew for 5,000 because we have a couple of showers and you have one starting to work its way into Northampton County and some more showers to the north and west into parts of Virginia. But most of us are quiet now. We just have a lot of sunshine from Southern Pines and it's hot. 94 in Raleigh, 94 Rocky Mountain, 92 in Fayetteville, and it's humid too. Dew points in the upper 50s and low 60s. We don't cool off much overnight tonight. It's going to be another hot day tomorrow. They're getting hotter throughout the next week. I'll let you know how hot we'll get ahead of Game 5 back at Lenovo Center. That's coming up.
I'm Elizabeth Holmes in the WRAL Live Center. Right now, we are working to learn more about a possible fire reported off of Durant Road in Wake County. This is some video of the scene here. You can see some smoke, no flames visible. We got the report around 4:30 this afternoon. We're hearing that this could be close to a waste facility just west of Falls of the Neuse Road. We are working to learn what may have caused it and if there were any injuries reported.
Over to Harnett County, new information tonight in a deadly crash that killed an 8-year-old boy. The truck driver charged in the crash is now out of jail on bond. WRAL's Bailey Stamos joins us live from Harnett County right now. Bailey, what are you learning?
Just a terrible situation, Keely. We're standing at the corner of the intersection where this crash happened on Friday, and I want to show you something. This is a memorial that has been started in honor of the 2 children involved in that crash. What we know now is that an 8-year-old was determined dead at the scene, and another 9-year-old is in critical condition. Troopers tell us a tractor trailer was heading north when it failed to slow for a red light on NC 87 and rear-ended one SUV, pushing it into another SUV in the southbound turn lane. The 2 children and the adult who had life-threatening injuries were in the SUV that the truck directly hit. Today, we spoke with some people who witnessed the crash. They say this was a sound like no other. As you can imagine, it was loud, it was a scary sight, but at the same time, a moment where the community really came together.
People were taking crowbars out their cars to try to open the door because the car was like completely demolished.
Woman we spoke to works at the vape shop right on this road. She tells me she sees at least a couple crashes a week at this intersection. We have reached out to troopers hoping to learn more about why the driver failed to stop and what the current condition of the 9-year-old involved is. The driver of that semi-truck, 63-year-old David Quera, was held on a $5K bond, which has since been posted, and he now has a court date set for August. Bailey Stamos, WRAL News in Harnett County.
A big update there. Thank you, Bailey. Recovery crews in Halifax County have found the body of a missing kayaker. Angel Martinez was last seen on May 14th on the water with a friend near the 5th Street boat landing at Roanoke Rapids Lake. This is video from last month when crews rescued the friend who says their boats had taken on water. The sheriff's office, Roanoke Rapids Police, and several fire and EMS crews assisted in the nearly month-long recovery. Well, tomorrow, the Wake County Board of Commissioners will discuss the proposed partnership between WakeMed and Atrium Health. The board is expected to grill WakeMed executives on details of the merger and what role the county will play in it. The potential merger has faced lots of scrutiny, and as WRAL's Kirsten Clark shows us, a lot of it has been fueled by the possibility of higher medical costs.
State government employees and retirees could see health insurance premiums increase by more than $100 per year. That's what state health plan leaders say if WakeMed goes through with the merger with Atrium Health. State Health Plan Executive Administrator Thomas Friedman says Atrium is currently charging the plan anywhere from 15 to 40% more than Wake Med for the same services.
If we moved our current book of business, same people using the same thing and paying that much more money, we would need to either get from taxpayers or members an amount of money that would cost somewhere between $7 and $11 a month.
That would mean an extra $84 to $132 per year for policyholders. On top of the cost challenges, State Treasurer Brad Briner says members are already feeling.
We want to figure out a way to help our teachers, help our law enforcement officers get better access at a better price.
Meanwhile, Wake Med says the deal would, quote, help hold down costs in a variety of ways and will help with reducing costs for supplies, medicines, and equipment while preserving consumer choice. The hospital system blames insurance providers for increased health care costs, calling out the state health plan for increasing premiums to cover a deficit of more than $1 billion. In a statement, a Wake Med spokesperson said consumers experience health care costs primarily through insurance, not health care delivery. Wake Med reimbursement has generally not kept pace with rising health care costs of delivering care, while premiums continue increasing. Under the proposed deal, Atrium is promising a $2 billion investment in the area and the creation of more than 3,000 new jobs. But Briner says higher costs he foresees from Wake Med by far outshadows that promise.
The whole point is to raise prices so that they can spend it on facilities, and you can be the judge of whether that's worth it.
In Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Wake Med's board unanimously approved the deal back in April. A vote from Wake County commissioners was postponed after state officials raised lots of questions about the deal. Well, this is the story of the month, isn't it? The countdown is on to Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final Tuesday night in Las Vegas. After a tough loss in Game 3, Hurricane fans are hoping their team can bring them back before they head to Raleigh. WRAL's Chris Lee and Pat Welter are live in Vegas with a look at what fans have brought from Carolina to Sin City. Hi, you guys, my favorite guys.
Keely, you're one of my favorite reporters. It's so good to hear you in my ear all the way out here in Las Vegas. Here's something I think you would have enjoyed. Even though the result last night wasn't what we wanted from the Canes, you would have loved the time in T-Mobile Arena because Canes fans showed up, they were loud, and they really made sure they brought a piece of Lenovo Center to the T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, it's quite a spectacle, as you can imagine, here in fabulous Las Vegas, as the sign says behind us. The people here have really embraced this team over the last 9 years. It's what their third Stanley Cup final. But, of course, we saw Lenovo Center last night, the passion that Canes fans have, and they're trying to take over Sin City.
Within this medieval kingdom, a storm is brewing.
Canes fans have planted their flag in Vegas.
So what do you think makes being a Canes fan special?
Dude, it's redneck hockey, man. We just want it more than anybody else. Oh, yeah. Nobody wants it more than us.
From best friends from high school.
I saw the Cup in 2006. I wasn't able to go then. I'm going now. I'm going to every game. Baby. Let's go.
To new fans.
Never watched hockey until I came to Raleigh, and so the Canes are it.
And season ticket holders since day one.
So it's been great to see the community grow, and everyone just really loved and enjoyed rooting for the Canes.
Canes fans know no borders.
I was in the building in 06, there in 09 for all the runs, and we're getting ready for one more.
Love it. And Chris, we were watching the game as well with right near the family section, and it was really cool to see them all like on pins and needles as we went to one overtime. And then a second, one of Logan Stanko and his family members gave me a hug. I talked to Heinz Ehlers, who was just freaking out with nerves, and then you talked to Jalen Chatfield's brother.
Yeah, I met Scott Chatfield, his older brother, and he was telling me so much about how they grew up playing hockey in Michigan and how he was 2 years older than Jalen and how that is probably what helped prepare him to go to a higher level in hockey and how hard he's worked. We know how hard they've worked, but there's something that the fans could do to work a little bit harder for the Hurricanes. We'll talk about that later in sports.
All right, Pat Welter and Chris Lee, I know you guys are having a great time, but you are working really hard out there. We appreciate it. We'll come back to you soon. Starting over, months after the painted tree closure left vendors scrambling, they're finding new ways to reach customers. Why some believe a permanent home could be on the horizon. And now here with the Renee Chu and Chris Levengood, they're going to have a look at what they're working on this morning.
Elizabeth will be tracking the heat wave, and Ken will have your traffic every 10 minutes.
Plus, WRAL investigates the surge in online exploitation, why detectives are struggling to keep up, and what parents can do to protect their children. Make sure you join us tomorrow morning beginning at 4:30 a.m.
Welcome back. Across the nation and right here in North Carolina, local news sources are disappearing. This is the focus of the latest WRAL documentary, Left Uncovered Inside North Carolina's News Deserts. At least 8 counties in North Carolina have no original source of local news, and 52 counties have just one. A new WRAL documentary investigates what this means for those communities.
If we didn't have the local news, we would be lost.
But a public that is less informed can't question government.
We have to have the news. You may not like it at times, but we have to have it.
Amen to that. Our WRAL documentary unit shows you what's being lost and the people fighting to keep local journalism alive. You can watch Left Uncovered Inside North Carolina's News Deserts Wednesday at 7:30 on WRAL TV or wherever you can stream WRAL. Former painted tree vendors are back in business today after the chain abruptly shut down in April. The closure left many small business owners scrambling to move their merchandise out of a building and then find a new place to sell it. Today, dozens of those vendors gathered at Raleigh Brewing for a pop-up market. Vendors say the pop-ups have helped them stay connected with customers while they search for a more permanent home.
We just want to thank everybody for all of the support because it's been really amazing. We're hopeful that there's somebody out there that might be interested in investing in, they've got a whole bunch of vendors that would be available.
One investor is now exploring the possibility of opening a similar marketplace at the Old South Hills Mall. Could be pretty exciting. Well, something that's also pretty exciting, the opportunity for maybe a little bit of rain, maybe a cool down. Is that in the cards for us, Grant?
A bit of a cool down. It won't be much, but it won't be as hot as it was this weekend, and it'll be nice to have a little bit of a break before we have some more intense heat later this week. Upper 90s to around 100 late this week, so we'll talk more about when to expect that. But yeah, small rain chance tonight into Monday, maybe some small rain chances for the first half of the week, and then maybe some higher rain chances later this week. And I'll let you know how we get there. To start this week, though, this is our next weather maker. It's a front that's slowly approaching the area. It'll be the chance for some brief showers overnight tonight and into Monday. I showed you a little bit before that we have some very brief showers moving into our northern spots right now, but the rain chances are pretty limited for the time being. The better rain chance comes late tonight, but it's only around a 20% chance. And then we'll see a few more showers and storms tomorrow, and then a bit cooler Tuesday before we heat up once again as we head into the end of this week. Here's Futurecast. Starting at this evening, we'll see some scatter cloud cover. You can see some brief showers move into our northern spots. Not a ton of rain, but towards the North Carolina-Virginia border, watch for some isolated showers and some extra cloud cover as this front slowly moves in. Pretty quiet during the first part of the day tomorrow, just some scatter clouds ahead of this front. As the front pushes south towards the Sandhills, we'll see some isolated showers, maybe a brief storm pop up tomorrow afternoon. The majority of these stay south and to the west of the triangle, so not a big rain chance across the area, just some isolated showers and maybe a couple of storms. By Tuesday morning, we're quieter, just some scatter cloud cover. You could see some brief showers on Tuesday, but it's not a big rain chance then. A 30% rain chance by the afternoon tomorrow, then 20% Tuesday and Wednesday. As our next front approaches, you'll see those rain chances pick up by Friday, especially some scattered showers, maybe a few storms possible as we close out the week. And we'll also see more heat ahead of that front. Up to 97 on Thursday, 99 on Friday, so highs running 10 to 15 degrees above average. So it's going to be important to stay hydrated, take AC breaks whenever possible. If you're out at Game 5 at Lenovo Center, make sure you find some shade for your tailgating. Hopefully you can maybe move into some shade, at least during brief periods of time. I know there's only so many shaded areas in Lenovo Center's parking lot, but hopefully you can find some shade at some point. Southern Pines, we have a ton of blue sky right now. It is just beautiful out there this evening. Just still hot. It's 94 in Raleigh, 92 in Fayetteville, 91 in Roxborough. This evening, we don't cool off a ton. We're in the low 80s by 11 p.m. The main reason for that is because as this front approaches, cloud cover will slowly increase across the area. So we'll just stay more mild and humid overnight. We only drop the low 70s for most spots tomorrow morning. Upper 60s up towards Roxborough with extra cloud cover. Tomorrow, get ready for more heat. 95 for the high in the afternoon. Some isolated showers and a few storms possible. But again, this is not going to be a washout tomorrow. Not a huge rain chance. The rain chance will be at 30%. The better chances for scattered showers and storms will be to end this week and into next weekend. Also ahead of Game 5 of Lenovo Center, it's going to be hot. 97 for a high, but fortunately slowly cooling off into the evening. Just more summertime heat and running well above average by the end of the week, Keely.
Yeah, Grant, these folks need to pack water in addition to all the beer that they are drinking during the tailgate.
Yes,
That's great
electrolytes
advice.
with your beer, yeah.
Well, speaking of the Canes, as promised, they are back. WRAL's Chris Lee and Pat Welter live in Sin City. Hi, guys.
Yeah, Keely, things can get a little weird in the desert. The Carolina Hurricanes have some kinks to work out, maybe even have to work out a curse.
Yes, I love that tease right there. Professional. How the Canes plan to not dig themselves such a deep hole coming up next.
And remember, if you see breaking news, have a story tip, or shoot video or pictures of our weather, please report it to us. You can go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to our news team. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the sports and welcome to Las Vegas, everybody. I'm Chris Lee. That is Pat Welter. We're in front of the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. The Canes didn't feel very welcomed last night. They got down in a big hole. They were able to climb back, but ultimately didn't win.
And that was a game that it feels like only a place like Las Vegas could deliver. Yes. I mean, to go down 4-0 and come all the way back, the Canes nearly made history, Chris. I think they know what they need to do to get things right in their way going the rest of the way.
Show you a little bit how it happened last night. If you just so happen to miss it, of course, Mitch Marner went off. He scored 3 goals within 6 minutes and 10 seconds. That is the fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup final history. It was a bad second period for the Carolina Hurricanes. Ultimately, it was the period that ended up having Freddie Anderson be put on the bench.
And Rod Brindamore took a little bit of an issue. I asked him this morning about some of the mistakes he's made. I mean, let's step back for a second. The Canes had 2 own goals essentially in this game. They've showed the skill. They've shown the fight. Now they just have to not dig themselves such a deep hole to come back in these games.
Guys, I know that one thing, they don't ever, like, we've been in games like where we haven't played well. We always find a way to dig ourselves out, always. And so that's kind of happened again here tonight. It's just we just dug a little too big a hole there.
You know, obviously the way it finished sucked, and we'll look at some things that we can do better and not give ourselves a 4-0 hole and go from there.
All right, a couple of news and notes for you. Will Carrier, who left the game with apparent elbow injury. Rod Brindamore hopeful that he could return for Game 4. And then there's the goalie situation. Brandon Bussey comes in relief. Rod Brindamore wasn't ready to make that decision today on who would start.
Well, how do we help the Carolina Hurricanes from here? A lot of times we talk about a magical run. Magic can also work against you the other way, maybe in the form of a curse. And maybe that's what's happening with the Carolina Hurricanes, and there's possibly something to do with a WWE superstar. Check it out.
It may seem silly, but...
Please curse the Carolina Hurricanes for the 2026 Stanley Cup Finals.
The Carolina Hurricanes may have to reverse a curse by a WWE superstar named Danhausen.
Carolina Hurricanes, you are cast. Go, Kanata, go.
Danhausen is an over-the-top professional wrestling character who, in his world, gives out curses to his opponents. You are cast! Now about the Canes. Despite scoring 4 goals in 12 minutes to tie Game 3, it was a bouncing puck from Jordan Martinook's stick and off of Brandon Bussey's skate that sealed their fate in Vegas. Silence! You are cast! And this isn't just a silly gimmick. It may have legs. In April, Danhausen cursed the New York Knicks to spite ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. The Knicks began the postseason in a 2-1 hole to the Atlanta Hawks. Then, fans paid Danhausen on his Cameo page to reverse the curse. Since then, the Knicks have won 13 straight games and are 2 wins away from their first NBA championship since 1973.
I know it. I feel it in my heart. We're going to win a championship this year.
Canes fans, it's time to get Danhausen to reverse the curse.
So maybe Canes fans can come together, go on Cameo, get Danhausen to reverse the curse so the Canes can walk away with that Stanley Cup. Keely, we'll send it back inside to you.
Yeah, you guys know how woo I am. We got to pay that guy off. Thank you both. Reporting live in Las Vegas, I should say. Well, we also have a big college baseball update for you tonight. The Tar Heels are heading to the College World Series. UNC beat USC for 2-3 in the third and final game of the Super Regional. They're headed to the World Series. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great evening.